Hello stampers and crafters, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's project is this one. It doesn't look like much now, but we are going to be creating a fun note card set. Let me get everything out of the box. Note cards. 4 of them. We have to make one. So I'm going to make 4 note cards with the envelopes, and I'm going to show you how to make the box, and we're going to decorate this box too. Don't worry, this one is quite plain. We're going to decorate the box so you can give this as a gift to your family and friends. So I'm going to show you how to make the note cards and the box. If you want to see how to do that, please keep watching. So the first thing we're going to do is make our note card, and don't mind the box. This is just a little prototype box I made. Our box is going to be a lot better. But these are the note cards, and I used the layering leaves stamp set for these cards. We're going to be making the 4th card in Pretty Peacock, and I got the colors from the, I think it's Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper. There are 5 colors in here. So we have Berry Burst, Pecan Pie, Lemon Lime Twist, Pretty Peacock, and Blueberry Bushel. We're going to be using the Pecan Pie color, the brown here, for our box, and then we're going to be making our card using the Pretty Peacock. Now don't worry, all the measurements, all the supplies I used are listed in the blog post. It's the first link in the description of this video, but let's start by making our card first. So I used the note cards and envelopes that Stampin' Up! Sells. They're just regular note cards with envelopes. I got all my pieces here. They look like this. They're just plain little note cards. We're going to decorate that using the layering leaf stamp set, and I have Pretty Peacock ink here. I'm going to open up my ink. I have a scrap of Pretty Peacock here. I do love the layering leaf stamp set. This does coordinate with the bow punch. Punches out these little sprig pieces. We're not going to be using that today, just the stamp set. And I have my stamps ready to go. I have my leaves here. I used this one that's on a D block. We're also going to be using these splatters. And then I picked one of the sentiments. And I'm also going to be showing you how to measure your cardstock for your sentiment. So first, we're going to take this little piece of basic white. I'm going to set that to the side. And we're going to stamp our leaves and our splotchy pieces. So what I'm going to do is my leaves first. I'm going to ink that up in the Pretty Peacock. And I'm just kind of stamping it randomly. I'm going to go 3 times. And I am going to like overlap the stems because that's where our sentiment is going to go. Perfect. And then we can do our splotchy pieces, and this is just completely random, and I'm using the ink that's left on the stamp, so I'm stamping a couple times. So there's 1, 2, 3, just to get a little bit of dots kind of around. That looks good. Now we need to do our sentiment. So I need a little scrap piece of basic white that I have here and my ruler. So when I measure for sentiments, I like to put my stamp on a block. I have my ruler here, and this measures about 2 inches. But if I made my paper right at 2 inches, it would be very hard to stamp. So I'm going to go 1/4 inch up. So I'm going to go 2 1/4, turn it to the side. And the biggest point of this is about 1 inch. I'm going to go 1 1/4. So we're going to make our basic white piece 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. Let me just grab my paper trimmer, move my ink pad really quick. So I need my basic white, and for this piece we're going to go 2 1/4, and then we're going to turn it and go 1 1/4. And this is what we're going to stamp our sentiment on. Now for our border piece, because it's 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, oh, I want to make sure, nope, I don't want that piece, I want this piece. I'm going to go 1/4 inch bigger. So that's 2 1/2 by 1 1/2. And that will border around our basic white piece. So you can do this with any sentiment. You just measure it And you want to go about 1/4 inch bigger than you actually need, just so you have enough room. So now we can stamp our sentiment. Ink up our thinking of you stamp. Perfect. See how it's got a nice little white border around it? That is it for stamping with the pretty peacock. I'm going to move my stamps to the side so I don't put my hands in them. And now we can put our pieces together for our card. So I just have some Stamp and Seal. Try to find where it starts. There we go. I'm going to put this on the piece we just cut. And that's got a nice little border. And then I have my piece of Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper. You can use whatever side. I liked the bigger check marks, so I'm going to be using that. I'm going to put this down on our note card. And you could also stamp the inside of your note card if you'd like. Putting that right on our note card base. And taking our piece that we stamped. Again, all the measurements are on my blog. And then I'm going to take our sentiment, and I just have some ends here of some Stampin' Dimensionals. I like to use all of the Stampin' Dimensionals so there is no waste. I'm just going to use one of the ends here. And we're going to pop that up and put it right over those stems so we kind of hide that. Just like that. And then I'm going to use the rest of these to pop this piece up. I need another sheet. Oh, I have another sheet of ends. These are from Mini Dimensionals, but they'll do. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut them. And these work just the same as regular dimensionals. I just like to not throw them out as they are just the same thing. There, that is all popped up. And nobody will know. Nobody's going to look at the back and go, oh, you use the ends of the dimensionals. Nobody cares. Make sure I got it going the right way. And then just kind of center it in the middle. And to finish, I have some of the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. These have Lemon Lime Twist, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, and Pretty Peacock. All the colors we're using for our cards. I'm just going to grab 3 of the Pretty Peacock ones, and we're just going to kind of randomly scatter them around. Whoops. One there. So that is our card finish. Now let's move on to making the box. So our card box is quite simple, but we need to decorate it, and really don't pay attention to this one. This was just kind of the prototype, so it's a little banged up, but it does fit all 4 note cards and the envelopes that go with them. So to make the box, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. I have regular basic white. Sorry, it's not thick basic white. I have regular basic white here and pecan pie. The pecan pie is 6 by 7 1/4, and the white is 5.5 by 6 3/4. Again, all the measurements are on my blog. We're going to start with the pecan pie first. So this measures 6 by 7 1/4. We're going to score it using our paper trimmer at 1 inch on all 4 sides. I want to make sure my cutting blade is up and out of the way, and I'm just going to measure it at 1 inch. Now you can use the 1 inch on this side or this side, whatever you prefer. I like the one that's on the left, but just make sure you're using the same one every time. So I'm just going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And then the basic white piece, whoops, let me make sure I get that in there. There we go. The basic white piece, again, is 5.5 by 6 3/4. We're going to score this at 3/4 on all 4 sides. And I'll just use the one on the right to show you. There's 3/4. And that is it. So for the score lines, now we need to burnish our score lines. So I have my bone folder here. And when I say burnish, I just mean to make these really crisp. So I'm just folding that over and using the bone folder to really get a nice crisp line on that score line. You want to do this on all 4 sides. And then we do it on the other one. While I'm burnishing these, did you know that Stampin' Up! Is having a starter kit promotion for the month of October? So you could get all the things to make this project plus a ton more for a really amazing deal. They're giving you either 35% off the price of the starter kit, which is normally $99, or 35% more with your starter kit. I have a little flyer somewhere in my life. There it is. Yeah, so the option 1, you get 35% off. You only pay $64.35. Option 2, you get 35% more. You pay $99, but you get $168.75 worth of product. It's amazing. That is in the US. If you're in Canada or Australia or the UK, the prices are different. But I can't believe that. Such a good deal. So if you want to learn more about that, there is a link in the description of this video, or you could reach out to me, leave a comment here. I will get back to you. Email me, sassypapercrafts@gmail.com. Anywho, let's get back to our box. So I have my paper snips here. You have 4 squares in each corner. What you're going to do is cut up, straight up, the score line to the next score line. And then what I like to do is out of the square, I like to take just a little bit off. So it kind of makes a small triangle. And then you're going to turn it. You're going to do the same thing. Cut straight up. Take a little bit out of there. Turn it. Cut straight up. A little bit out. And one more time. And you set that aside. We'll get rid of these little scraps of paper. We're going to do the exact same thing to our pecan pie piece. So you have 4 squares in each corner. You're going to cut straight up to that score line and cut a little notch out. Cut straight up, a little notch. Sometimes they stick. You can just pull it. Cut straight up. Little notch. Cut straight up. Take a little notch. So the little notch, all that does is it makes it so when you fold in your box, it just sits better. I prefer it. So now I'm going to grab some Seal Plus. That's not it. Which I'm almost running out of. So I do have my refill handy. Seal Plus though, is a little bit stronger than regular Stampin' Seal, so I do like using this for 3D projects and boxes. Works exactly the same. I'm just going to put a little bit on all 4 corners. You could also use tear and tape if you prefer. Liquid glue, woodwork. It just depends on what you're putting in this box. If you're putting note cards and envelopes, liquid glue would probably be just fine, seeing as though they aren't super heavy. Oh, I didn't need my refill, but I'm almost needing it. That red line is showing. So now what I'm going to do is don't sit this down on your grid paper. I did that with the first box. That's why it's kind of a little wobbly. But I just like to hold it up and just kind of push that over. And you're going to fold in. So you're going to meet this square with this line, if that makes sense. And then hold it. Turn it around so you can see it again. There's our square with our seal. We're just going to meet up these 2 lines here. Yeah, I set it right down on my grid paper and then couldn't get it back up because Seal Plus is very strong. So again, meeting those up. Just like that. And that is the base of our box. So that is what our note cards and our envelopes are going to go in. And since I messed up that box so bad, I'm going to actually transfer our note cards over to this box. See how wobbly it is? Because I had to pull it up. It was a mess. just to show you too that these fit in there just perfectly, just like that. So we'll set that aside. Now we'll do the same thing to the top of our box. This will be our lid. So we're gonna fold this piece over a little bit, then take our square and line it up with that corner and push. So there is the top for our box. Now before we're finished, we have to decorate it, right? So I'm going to put this on our box, and it is a tight fit. I might have make sure you line up your corners, because I might have made it a little bit snug. It is a tight fit, but it does work, I promise. There. It's snug, but it's on there good, and that way too the lid doesn't just fall right off. So now we're going to decorate our box. I've already stamped. I did the exact same kind of stamping as the card using the layering leaves. I did the same technique to cut out my sentiment, and we're just going to put everything on the box. So we have our pecan pie. That's the only difference here, as I did cut an extra piece of pecan pie. Again, all the measurements right there on my blog for you. I'm gonna pop this on the box, and I'm not using dimensionals for this. It's gonna be all seal for the box, just because it's a box, so it's already 3D. I didn't think I really needed to pop up anything. If you want to use dimensionals, feel free. Again, like I said, I'm not going to. And I'm also not going to put bling on it. But if you wanted to, you definitely could do that. I just think the real star of the show is inside the box, so I didn't use a lot of things for the outside. But there is our box, and then we can open it up. And there's our box and our note cards. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you would like to get these products at a discount, and save 35% or get 35% more products, join Stampin' Up. That starter kit promotion is amazing. I just at least check it out. It's an amazing deal. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this project. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel to get more videos from me. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Happy stamping.